What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Oof, I'm not even gonna say what I normally say, which is, hey, it's been a while, because we all know it has been a very long while. And I can tell you that things have been really crazy, chaotic, just completely out of my control. However, that wouldn't necessarily be the truth. If I'm being completely honest, I have just been working and working on myself and getting into some more hobbies that I haven't been into in a long time. So honestly, I'm just enjoying life at this point. The last couple years have been fully on school and I haven't really had the chance to do anything else. So you know what? I'm just taking my time and I am relaxing. With that being said, I really do miss you guys. I really do miss making videos. So don't think that I forgot you, because I haven't. I actually post a lot more on TikTok and Instagram. So if you guys want to see more of me, I will link my TikTok and my Instagram down below. So today I wanted to do something that I haven't done in a year now. So you guys remember about a year ago, I talked about the things that still keep me very, very much awake at night. And you guys really did seem to enjoy it. In fact, it was so popular that I asked you guys if you guys would want a part 2, because trust me, I got stories. So why has it taken me so long to do part 2? Well, as I stated in the video, that was the one and only clinic I actually worked at. You guys know that I had internship sites, but that's not quite the same thing as working there full-time, part-time, technically. We'll get into that. So I kind of wanted to wait until I got into my new job, which I've been at for about 9 months now. So I definitely think I have a better opinion for this video. Also, I got a lot of comments on the last video saying well, this is just vet med, you're just gonna have to deal with it. If you can't handle it, just don't be in the field. This is 99% of vet med, etc, etc. And I'm not here to judge or say those people are wrong by any means, but the reason why I make these videos is simply to be even though this might be most of vet med, it shouldn't be. I truly believe that talking about it and bringing awareness to other people might actually end up changing things a little bit, even if it's just a little bit. And I'm not making these videos to discourage anybody. I am literally just trying to be the person that I wish I had when I first started vet med. I'm just trying to be your guys' big sister. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. I highly recommend you watch the first video before you watch this one, but I'll give a brief overview. So I was a kennel technician at my first hospital. This hospital was considered private practice. However, the guy who owned it also owned 4 more in the state, and he never actually lived here. We only saw him occasionally. Let's just say that this private practice was this guy's second mortgage piggy bank kind of a thing. He treated this place as nothing more than just another payment for him. For the 9-10 months that I worked there, I saw him maybe 4 times. Now I talked a little bit about this in my first video, but we would occasionally have team meetings during lunchtime where I could only stay for 10 or 15 minutes and then I'd have to leave and go clean something, but we would get free food and it would be nice because we get free food. So this was probably the very first meeting that I ever attended, which honestly should have had me running out the door first thing. And I'm maybe a month and a half into this job, right? So we start going from department to department to department, receptionists, techs, assistants. Never made it to us kennel techs because no one cared about our opinion, but anyway. So one of the receptionists, who had been there for about a decade, she actually lived in one of the apartments that is connected to the hospital, which the old vet used to live in. I couldn't remember exactly what she was trying to bring up, but she wanted to bring up a concern, and she was 4 words in, and then the owner, which we'll call Mike for the story, starts just screaming at her. Shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not listening to me. I can't remember what the situation was, but I remember it was not that big of a deal. She was literally just trying to voice her opinion. Now the thing about her is that she was very kind of softly spoken. She wasn't really talkative very much, and I kind of understood why. And it was just awful. And the practice manager was just sitting there listening, and so was my manager, just sitting there listening, because what are you gonna say to him? And of course, towards the end of the meeting, she ended up in tears, which was just, it was just not okay. It was just completely blown out of the water. You do not scream at somebody who is trying to give constructive criticism about how to improve your practice, which by the way, he owned at this point less than a year, okay? Every time I'd come in, it was always very, very random. He actually lived about an hour and a half away, and he would drive here whenever he needed to check on his 2 vet hospitals. I think he had 4 vet hospitals at the time, all around Northern California. Every time I'd see him, I would literally not know he was there until I literally ran into him, and I'd be like, oh, hi, good morning, Mike. Nothing. He wouldn't say a single word to me. He would just walk past me like I didn't exist. And you guys have to remember, I knew nothing. I knew nothing about vet med. I had been in the field for 2 months at this point, right? I'm still very new to everything. I was putting vaccines away, and I had thrown away the top of the vaccines, which has the information about what it is. And I didn't realize that we would just take off the top of the plastic and put it under the vaccines, I got screamed at for that. I literally had to go, I threw them away at this point. I literally had to go into the big garbage can and I had to fish them out for him. It wasn't my fault, sure, but we already had the serial number plugged in and we had the expiration date, and I'm not saying that what I did was okay. It was just so uncalled for, and I literally had to go in the dumpster, which was 6 feet off the ground, had to go jump in it, retrieve these top boxes out of the grossest trash can you could ever imagine, and put them back in and put them under the tray. All right, whatever. Probably my bad, but whatever. If you guys remember my last video, I told you that my position never had like an off time. Like we never knew what time we were off. We'd always have to go to the manager and ask if we can leave. He would literally be in the practice manager's office. The door would be closed and I'd have to go ask my manager if I could, you know, go home. I remember the first time I did it, I knocked on the door. Him and my practice manager are just sitting there staring at me and I'm just like, hey, is it okay if I, you know, head out? Like the next kennel tech was there. And so he was like, is this really important to bring up right now? And I was like, I mean, kinda, because I'm about to get overtime. I didn't actually say that, but I was like kind of like awestruck and I was like, bro, I'm just trying to go home and do homework. But she ended up saying okay and I was like, all right, bye. Now I will say he is the one that paid for our Christmas party, which was going to a really nice 5-star restaurant. However, that's like the one nicest thing he did for us. One of my coworkers actually asked for a raise because we were making minimum wage at this point, and I think we asked for like a 50-cent raise or something like that. I didn't ask, but my fellow kennel tech did. And he told us absolutely not because they were on a tighter budget, and I'm not even joking, you guys. He built a charging station for his Tesla in the back where our parking spot was. There was like 7 parking spots and there was one that we were able to park at. He built a whole charging station for his Tesla and his Tesla only. And like I said, I saw him like 4 or 5 times. You know how many times that Tesla was used? Not very much. It was just so ridiculous. Like literally that place had just become, like I said, his own personal piggy bank. He was one of those people that when COVID first started, he would go into the grocery stores and he told us this, he literally told us this to our face, to all of our faces. There was a really long line somewhere and he wanted to get something quick. So he literally decided to like start fake coughing and fake hacking towards everybody. And everyone just like got out of his way, you know, because COVID was coming just to get in the front of the line. Like, oh my God, he was such a piece of crap human. So I believe in my last video, at my position only, we were not allowed to take sick days without a doctor's note, like ever, right? Well, let me tell you about vacation days. My position was not allowed to ask for 3 days of vacation days. And you guys have to realize we were not full-time. We did not get any benefits, so we didn't get any paid time off benefits. When we requested days off, we got absolutely no benefit from it. We wouldn't get any paid time off. We wouldn't like nothing, right? But we still could not request more than 3 days off. Like, I'm not even joking. Oh, due to problem staffing, kennel techs are not allowed to take more than 3 days off, which is complete BS, by the way. We had 4 of us. And I remember thinking like, screw that, because it was about to be my birthday week and I asked for 5. I did get 5 days off, I will say. However, it was just like so uncalled for. Crazy how their turnover rate was insane, right? As kennel techs, we had no insight to anything. Like we would have staff meetings, as I mentioned, during lunch, but the doctors would have their own separate doctors meeting. And this would take place after the clinic was closed, right? AKA when everyone else was gone and us kennel techs were cleaning and closing up and just trying to go home. So I remember one particular day, like it was actually a really slow day. We didn't have a lot going on. I didn't have a lot to clean. We closed at 6 and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get out of here at 7. Like I was so stoked, gonna be able to go home, do homework for school the next day. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have great sleep tonight. Like this is gonna be awesome. But of course, nobody told me that the doctor's meeting was gonna be like half hour after we closed. So here come all the doctors and Mike and then my practice manager just all walk into the hospital with these huge bags of food and like cupcakes and crap. And then they go into room 1 and they just have like basically like a freaking party. Literally right after I just cleaned that room, because nobody told me that anyone was gonna be coming in. And like doctors meetings happen like once every couple months, I think. But of course, nobody told me. So I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I'm like, I'm gonna have to wait until they're done because I'm gonna have to clean up after them and then close, right? I got the whole hospital cleaned in an hour. So at 7 o'clock I was done. However, I had to wait for the freaking meeting to be done because I didn't know whether or not I could just walk right out. So I was there until about 8:30 doing nothing. I was pissed. There was one other doctor's meeting that I was closing for, and let me tell you guys, I just cleaned what I did and I just left. I left at like 7:30 because I was not about to wait on them. Absolutely not. So ridiculous how awful communication was towards us. Now the funny thing about being a kennel tech there is you were in charge of like literally everything. Like you had to know everything without people even telling you, which was extremely frustrating. And since more than half of our kennel techs were hired at the same time, including myself, we all kind of got burned out around the same time. Like we all got really agitated with how this place was running. We all got really agitated with how we're being treated. And I think we just kind of like stopped working as hard as we did. And my manager really picked up on that because we had our own little kennel staff meeting. This was like literally around the time that COVID was happening because one of the girls who went to the university here, she got kicked out of her dorm and she had to go home. So there was 3 of us. And so that's when my manager manager sits us down and she's like, we are not gonna hire another kennel tech. And she basically just like told us like we sucked at our jobs. Like, you guys need to quit complaining. You need to just show up and do your job. She literally told us the reason you guys have jobs is because we have boarding, and the reason we want to board was so we can give that option to our clients. So if you guys aren't willing to do your jobs, then we might just want to get rid of boarding, which means you guys would have no jobs. Literally threatening to fire us basically, which I'm like, okay, that is BS, because absolutely nobody else is going to want to clean after you guys, trust me. And the reason why that's funny now is because I actually drive past my old clinic every time I have to go into town, and literally the whole back cement area, which had all the outdoor kennels that we had to clean for hours a day, that's completely gone, and they don't even offer boarding anymore. And I was like, oh my god, like they don't even offer boarding anymore. So naturally, I wanted to know more. So I talked to one of my classmates who actually works there now. She was like, oh no, yeah, we haven't had boarding since I've been here. Like, we don't have kennel techs, like we don't have any of that. And I was like, oh, why is that? She's like, oh, like we are having a hard time hiring people. And I'm like, look at that, crazy. It's almost like you guys are awful to work for. And now, of course, my friend's an RVT now, so she's probably treated a lot better there. However, it's a little bit nice considering our jobs got threatened and now they don't even offer boarding anymore. It's awful for the clients, but at the same time, it's just like, that's what you get for being horrible employers and treating us like garbage. Like, sorry. Of course, what you guys have all been waiting for. So while working there, I think I had like 4 write-ups, and I literally took a picture of this one. I hadn't even been presented with it yet. I literally just took a picture of it, and that's when I basically like kind of quit on the spot. And I found it in my memories 3 years later, so I wanted to show you guys. So I will put it up here for you guys to see. Honestly, I don't even remember what half of these were even for, but I know it was just complete BS. If you see me looking down, I'm just looking at it on my phone. Now, the part that really makes me laugh is the surgery window not cleaned or noticed. Or noticed! Like, how arrogant do you have to be to put or noticed? Like, I'm sorry, you're kind of calling yourself out right there. Our surgery windows literally went from like my chest to like the ceiling, so it was tall. And somehow a smudge got there, and I'm so sorry that I didn't see it because I'm not constantly looking up. Like, it was like one like, I have no clue how it even got there, but I was livid. So as we know, I quit. I was done. I even put in my 2 weeks even though I wanted to just walk out so freaking badly. But I stayed and I trained my replacement that they said that we couldn't hire because no one was applying. From what I know, that place isn't doing super great now. I actually heard that they were no longer open on Saturdays and no one worked Sundays now because they didn't have boarders. So I wonder who cleans up after everyone. Now, of course, leaving that place, I was so worried what my future was gonna hold. But guys, let me tell you, even if that's considered the norm in vet med, there are definitely better places out there. Like my clinic now, it is not perfect by any means. Of course, there are always things that are gonna be wrong with a particular clinic, but I have never been in such a horrible place since then. Like, I always thought, like, I'm the bottom of the food chain. I'm gonna be treated like crap no matter what. And I always told myself I will never be that way as an RVT. And I like to think for the most part that I've held up to it. I think I get along with just about everybody. At my clinic now, we actually have a janitor slash maintenance guy, and he is absolutely amazing. And it's so nice because all of us receptionists, assistants, techs, like we all help him with cleaning and like whatever he needs. If a dog has a blowout in the kennel, we help him clean it. And like none of us make it a big deal. Like we all just help him. And because he is so great at his job, we like to appreciate him as well. We gave him a birthday cake for his birthday. That alone told me that not all places are gonna be like that, and I am 1000% in a better mindset. So for those of you who are just joining vet med or you find yourself in a horrible position like I was, please just keep your head up, keep your eyes open. There are better places out there that are gonna treat you better. Now, I wouldn't say that there's a perfect clinic out there, but who knows? I could totally be wrong. This is only my 2nd clinic, and I totally believe that there are definitely good clinics out there. And if anyone needs to vent or you would love to talk to someone about it, my DMs are absolutely open. You are more than welcome to talk to me. It might take a little bit to get back to you, but I'd be more than happy to help you guys with things, because it's tough. This field is tough, and the last thing we need is coworkers to make it tougher. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please, if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. But I really do love you guys, and I really do appreciate making videos. I love making videos, and I love talking to you guys. So if you want to see more of me, feel free to leave suggestions. Also, I would love to thank the video sponsor, Lovepluspet.com. I talked about them in the last video, and they were so nice to send me a harness for my coworker's dog. This is Serenity. She's a senior dog who has a little trouble getting up and walking, but ever since Lovepluspet gifted her the harness, she's been walking a lot better now. Of course, please talk to your vet, but for those of you who want to get braces, Lovepluspet will definitely be the hookup for you. I actually have a coupon code in the description if you guys would like to check it out. With multiple 5-star reviews and a bunch of happy customers, I have no doubt that you guys are going to be very satisfied. And whatever condition your dog has, they have the option for it. So feel free to check them out. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching my videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!